We're here in the Asus booth with some more exclusive NCIX Tech Tips content. Check this out. This is the Raider Express from Asus. This is an ROG product. It is an SSD. It runs on a PCI Express 4X interface. And the first time we showed you this was actually at CES this year. But Asus was not willing to tell us anything about it. They had it sitting there, they had it running in systems, they wouldn't even let us look at the back of the device in order to see what kind of flash chips they had on it, and I can tell you why, because since then, it's probably changed. It's got a couple of SandForce controllers on it, as well as the latest 19 nanometer Toshiba toggle NAND, and it's got some pretty interesting little tricks. So if you look in the back here, you can see that they have a hardware switch to go between legacy boot mode and UEFI boot mode. What that means is when you're on a non-UEFI motherboard, you're going to get compatibility, and when you're on a UEFI motherboard, you're going to get extremely fast boot times. Now, the only problem I have with my personal RAID configuration, which is an LSI RAID card with 8 SSDs wired up to it, is that it actually takes me longer than a hard drive to boot, because the RAID card takes so long to initialize its OS, and it's not natively supported by the motherboard itself. So check out this demo where they've got an OCZ Revo Drive product versus the Raider Express. Now bear in mind that the demo is accelerated, so you want to watch the timer under these products. But this is the benefit that you can get on a supported platform. Now, Asus has done a lot of validation on the last 4 platforms from both Intel and AMD to ensure that if you add a Raider to your system, you are not going to have any difficulty. So you can see, even compared to other SSD-based solutions, a lot of the time that it takes to boot up has nothing to do with the speed of your storage device, but actually more to do with the speed of initializing it in the first place. This feature comes by default. It comes bundled in the box with the Z87 Deluxe Dual, but you can also buy it standalone. This is the Asus NFC Express. It's a little box right here that supports near-field communication. It uses USB 3 super speed to connect to your computer, and it enables a couple of different functionalities. So number one is you can use the included tag. It comes with one of these to sign into your computer. You can also use it to quickly launch applications. So check this out. On the screen above, I'm holding their live sports one. Go ahead, put that there. All of a sudden, now you can see we've got access to our webcam, which is of course desirable because of the attractive people behind me. Now, if you have a phone that supports NFC, there's a couple of other things that you can do as well. Number one is you can use it to control your PC using remote desktop. You just go bloop, walk away, and then you use remote desktop to control your computer. And not only that, but you can also use it to transfer photos off of your phone. Now, it doesn't use NFC for the actual file transfer. It uses NFC just for the validation, and then it transfers the photos via Wi-Fi. So it's actually probably the most elegant way to back up your photos to your computer. Once you get home, just go boop, you know that your files are backing up, and it's totally hassle-free. Very, very cool stuff. We're here in the Asus ROG booth, where it was brought to my attention that we missed some pretty important stuff before. So you're all familiar with Asus's headphones and headsets. They've got the Vulcan ANC, as well as the Orion and the Orion Pro. These are great complements for their Zonar series sound cards, but, well, a natural progression might be true gaming grade peripherals. So there's a couple things on demo here. Number one is the ROG GX 1000 Eagle Eye mouse. This is a gaming grade mouse that actually, the first time I picked it up, it felt quite heavy, and I wasn't 100% certain about it, but then I kind of, okay, so I touched it and I went, oh, this is cool. This is one of the most elegant systems I've yet seen for a removable weight system. So you've got up to 5 different 5-gram weights that you can put in or take out of the mouse. You've also got 6 fully programmable buttons. So there are 3 on the side. This is where I personally find them most accessible. 2 on the top for the left and right click, as well as a middle scroll wheel. You can see here that the mouse is illuminated, both at the back, there you go, you can see that, as well as on the top. So the scroll wheel illumination doesn't do anything, but these ones right here indicate the sensitivity settings. And this one is going to be available pretty much immediately. It's got a couple of different colors you can get it in, so more like a silver armor finish, or more like kind of like a dark knight sort of black finish. And this one right here is pretty cool because it's totally a prototype. This is not finished at all. This is the ROG Armor keyboard. As you might expect, it's using Cherry MX switches like any serious gaming keyboard should be doing these days. They say the final design is going to use Cherry MX red switches and may actually change around a fair bit in terms of how it works. Like right now, the wrist rest isn't really attached in any way. Personally, I like the design they have for the wrist rest right now because it's a very wide wrist rest. which particularly for people like my wife, she finds it very uncomfortable, not necessarily for gaming, but to type on a keyboard that doesn't have that proper wrist support. And let's face it, even the most hardcore gamers don't sit and do nothing but play video games when they're using their computers. So guys, our trip to the show here is powered by NCIX. Don't miss any of our other videos by making sure you're subscribed to both NCIX Tech Tips and Linus Tech Tips. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to NCIX.com for more videos like this from your favorite e-tailer, NCIX. I think I've said that like 6 times in the last 10 seconds.